For those of you who are in Circle, you know that we had a huge storm here yesterday. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and an enormous tree went down right in front of my house, like literally down the length of the front of my house, blocking my driveway, partially landing on the car that was in the driveway. Thankfully, there was no damage. And so incredibly lucky that I've got good relationships with a tree removal service. So they were here at 7:45 this morning because literally we can't get our cars out. So, and you know, it's just, this is the universe. The universe is sending us some kind of message that, you know, the throat chakra is all about sound. And I was in preparation for class. I've been reading Eastern Body, Western Mind. And, you know, she talks, Anodea Judith, who's amazing, talks about how we're very often focused on pollution in our world. We're focused on the pollution, you know, air pollution. We're focused on, you know, the air pollution is the really big one, but there are other pollutions we think about as well. But we really don't think about noise pollution. And one of the things that she says that's fascinating is that they did a study with rhesus monkeys saying when these monkeys were exposed to recorded industrial sound, and that's an ongoing noise level of 80 dBA or higher, which is like a decibel. These monkeys had a 27% rise in blood pressure, which stayed elevated for 4 months after the noise was over. So noise pollution really is powerful. It makes a difference, you know, in our mindset. And the intention for today's class was to talk about how we can start cultivating silence, because it's in silence that we're able to listen to our own voice, our internal voice. And I've got some really cool meditations that focus on that, if you'd like to check those out. So, hello Christy, hello Laura. Yeah, the tree, it is what it is, right? I'm grateful that they're here to work on things and get things done. So we've got the chainsaws going. We've got a wood chipper that's going to get going. So this is the universe sending us an opportunity to practice. That's the way I'm thinking about it. It's an opportunity for me to practice. It's an opportunity for you to practice. And, you know, yesterday I was at the hair salon for the first time since 2019, which was lovely. And so coming to the head of the mat, feel yourself dropping down, feeling the feet root down, palms shine forward. So while I was visiting with one of the people who work at the hair salon, inhale those arms up and overhead, reach up, lift up, and go ahead and arch over. So while I was trying to remember what she was doing. She was sitting, chatting with me, this one of the women at the hair salon, and a tray, which had, you know, a variety of metal things on it, got knocked over and made this really big clattering sound. This really big clattering sound. And the young woman, startled, going ahead and arching back and forth, stretching open. She startled, and as we continued to talk, it was about 5 minutes later, come on forward into your forward fold. About 5 minutes later, she said to me, my heart is still racing. Allowing yourself to just melt down, release down, relax down. 5 minutes later, my heart is still racing. And you know, I thought about that. I thought about her reaction. And my immediate response, which I didn't say to her, is that she has really poor vagal tone. Inhale, arch up halfway, flat back. And exhale, release down. Inhale again, flat back up. And really starting to bring awareness to Vishuddha. Vishuddha, our throat chakra. For those of you who are new to my class, step that right leg back. And maybe just joining in. There we go. I lost a tree in the front of my house, so I've got guys outside creating noise pollution for us. This is us living in the real world. Drop that knee down. That's going to be our practice today. How do we handle noise pollution? Shoulders down the back. And set those hips back. Toes stay down. And for those who might have missed it, gosh, it must have been maybe 6 or 7 weeks ago, we did a class on vagal toning, the vagus nerve. Exhale those hips back, toes rise up, folding over that leg. So if you're not familiar with the vagus nerve, it's V-A-G-U-S, vagus. It's the largest cranial nerve we have in our body. It's really spectacular. Letting those hips drop down. Knees again, right over ankle. And then exhale it back again. Heavy left heel, tractioning the heel back, feeling the back of the leg opening up. And inhale forward. Let those hips drop down, release down, relax down. Another breath. Curl those toes under and step it back, down dog. I'm going to get my comments on in light of all of our background noise. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. All right. Step it back. Down dog. So toning the vagus nerve is extremely important when it comes down to how we handle life's bumps and bruises, like noise pollution, okay? And what I invite you to do here, especially in light of the fact that you're like, I showed up, knees under hips, hands under shoulders, thinking that this was going to be my respite, right? My respite. Arching open. And there's all this buzzing, all this craziness. You know, how do you handle it? How do you deal with, the irritations? Where are you particularly raw? And where do you feel it in your body? Because there's a lot of knowledge to be learned from that. Inhale, lift. And exhale, arch. And how do we breathe into that? Because the reality is, this is life, isn't it? Trees go down. There are irritations, sound irritations, noise pollution. How do we handle it? Curl the toes, lift the hips, down dog. So if you notice, like, oh my gosh, my shoulders get tight or my jaw clenches, can you start bringing mindfulness into that experience and breathe through it? Is that possible? Is that possible for you to just breathe through it as you experience these kinds of irritations in life? Breathing. Glide forward, plank pose, pouring energy into the hands. Another breath. And lift the hips up. Head hangs heavy. Step that right foot forward, coming into your high runner's lunge. Hands frame the foot. pouring energy down that left leg. And drop the knee down. Every time they drop a piece of the tree, I can feel it. I can feel the floor shakes a little bit. Oh man. Allow the hips to release. And set those hips back, folding over that right leg. And inhale it forward. And there's the wood chipper. Exhale it back. And inhale forward. Exhale back again. Fold over that leg. And inhale forward. You know, one of the things that I was reading out of the Eastern body, Western mind, allow those hips to just release down. And one more time, exhale those hips back. Have the right heel be really heavy. Tractioning that right hip back. Squaring the left hip forward. Feeling that stretch through the back body. And inhale it forward. Curl the toes under. And step it back, down dog. Walk your feet out. Head hangs heavy, tailbone rises up. Another breath. And glide forward, plank pose, pouring energy into the hands. So in Eastern body, Western mind, Anodea Judith talks about resonance. And she talks about how, like literally, our bodies are vibrational, right? So this kind of noise pollution affects our energetic body, our prana, maya, kosha. Our prana, maya, kosha. Drop the knees down and come on down. Coming down to the belly. So what's interesting, because you might be like, okay, well, Laura, what to do? Well, yesterday when we were, when I was in the salon and the tray went over, hands are underneath the shoulders, baby cobra. It startled me as well. Exhale the nose down. And then inhale lift. But I did not have the reaction that this young lady had. Like I said, 5 minutes later, she said to me, my heart is still racing. This sound jolted her so badly, and she calmed herself very slowly. For me, it startled me, but my heart never elevated. And, immediately thereafter, I was fine. Coming up into a higher cobra. Breathing. And then come on down. Inhale, lift up again. And exhale down and really breathing into Vishuddha. Vishuddha, Vish is poison, Shuddha is purification. The purification of poison. That's what this chakra is all about. So with vagal tone, one of the most effective ways to increase vagal tone is through chanting. Coming up onto the knees, really increasing the resonance. Walk those hands forward, press the hands down, open up into your puppy dog stretch, Anahatasana. Curl the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Breathing here. Roll your head on the neck. Head hangs heavy, tailbone rises up. So let's start toning our 5th chakra. So nice big inhale. And we're going to hum. Float that right leg back and up. Stretch it up. Reach it up. And step it forward, coming into your Vira 1. So throughout the whole remainder of the class, you can hum. That's the Bija mantra for the throat. You can also om. If you like oming better, om has been proven to boost vagal tone. You can measure vagal tone. This has been proven, clinically proven to boost vagal tone, oming, okay? Feel yourself really opening up the heart. Remember how yesterday we talked about the fact that Lakshmi, okay, the heart chakra, the deity of the heart chakra, and Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom, are twin sisters, okay? So Saraswati, wisdom. Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance and love. Another breath. Straighten that leg. Open the heart up. Open the throat up. Feel yourself opening. And then step off onto that right foot. Arms can go back like airplane wings, coming into your Vira 3. Beautiful. Another breath. And then step it back. Vira 1. Breathe in here. Another breath. Step off again, coming into Bakasana, your balancing pose. Palms can be up. Little bit of a bend to your standing leg, the right leg. And then both hands come down, pivot forward. Standing split, knee to nose. Another breath. Remember, you can absolutely put hands on blocks if you need a little bit more height. Bend that knee, step it back. Vira 1. Beautiful, opening the throat. And let's keep toning the throat. Inhaling. Open it up, Virabhadrasana 2, lengthen your stance. Hips are now open towards the long edge of the mat. Palms can be up. Another breath. Straighten that leg, glide into your triangle. Inhaling. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, hands other side of the foot. Come on back. Tailbone lifts, head hangs heavy. Right. Breathing here. And something that Anodea said, widen the knees, touch the toes. She was again talking about resonance. Stretching the arms forward, palms up. And she said that the more that you're in resonance with yourself, the deeper that resonance goes, the more deeply you can connect with others, the more deeply you can connect with life. So there's like, there's the yin and the yang, right? Breathing. Another breath. There's the fact that by boosting our vagal tone, when the clamor arises, when the wood chipper and the chainsaw starts humming in the background, that doesn't stress you out as badly. Bring that left leg back and up, because you're able to stay centered. And step that foot forward, coming into your Virabhadrasana 1. And then there's also the ability to connect more deeply to others. So it's about riding the waves of life, isn't it? Riding the waves of life. Beautiful, open heart. Another breath. And then step off onto that left foot, going into Vira 3. Tell you what, breathing here. And then step it back. Inhale, lift up, Virabhadrasana 1. And then step off onto that left foot, coming into your Bakasana. Balancing, grounding down. Inhaling, continuing to tone, continuing to breathe. And then a hum, and feel it right here. Turquoise is your color. Hands, come on down, standing split. And step that foot back. Inhale, lift it up. Virabhadrasana 1. And open it up, Virabhadrasana 2. All right, y'all, they're not done. I can still see a good chunk of that tree, so enjoy the silence while it lasts. Breathing here, and Virabhadrasana 2. Stretching hip point to hip point. Straighten that leg, glide into your triangle. For those of you who might have joined late, I had an interesting experience. A big storm took down a huge tree in front of my house, blocking my front door, blocking my garage, hemming us in. So I got the tree removal people here right now. And yesterday I said our intention for today is to focus on silence. You gotta laugh, y'all. I mean, that's pretty funny. Breathing here. Hands either side of the foot. There goes the chainsaw again. All right. And come on back into your down dog. Head hangs heavy. Another breath. And glide forward, plank pose. Really breathing here. And then lift the hips up, exhaling. Inhale forward. And exhale it back. Just plugging into your power. Exhale back. Head hangs heavy. And again, continuing this practice, where do you feel it? Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Inhale, lift. When you have those irritations in life, and maybe you don't find this irritating, and if you don't, that's brilliant and wonderful, and I'm glad for you. So instead, think about, something where, whether it's like a beeping horn, or it's your teenager's alarm going off in their room while they ignore it. Whatever it is that kind of makes your skin tighten, just draw awareness to what is it, how do you respond? Because there's a lot of really juicy, good knowledge in there for us to cultivate. And how can we breathe through it? Can we ohm through it? Can we hum through it? Can we breathe into that space? What do we do? How do we handle it? Because unfortunately the chainsaws will just keep on humming, won't they? Whatever that sound is that the chainsaw makes. Curl the toes under. Come on back. Hold on to the soles of the feet. Pinky toes reaching back if you're like me and grabbing the pads of the pinky toes so they're on the mat. Lightly holding the soles of the feet. And lift those hips up. And come on into your rabbit. Back of the heart opening. Light, 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 light on the head. Virtually no weight on the head. Breathing here. Nice big inhale. Going inside, going into Vishuddha Chakra. And come on up. And let's catch our right arm across the body. Turn and look over that right shoulder. Toes are curled under. I always jokingly say this is the yoga pose that needs a new PR director. This is broken toe pose. Breathing into the soles of the feet. Another breath. Release the clasp and go in the opposite direction. Looking over the left shoulder, breathing, breathing, breathing. Right. Nice big inhale. And release. And let's come off our toes, our 4 broken toes, and sit back onto the heels. If this is okay with your knees, if it's not okay with your knees, you can come onto a block, or you can sit in Sukhasana, which is cross-legged pose. And let's bring our right arm up overhead and drop it down. And see if you can take your clasp. If you can't, I'm a little tight today, you can grab a strap or you can grab your t-shirt and bring that right elbow back. And again, breathe into the throat. Boosting your resonance no matter what is going on around you. Riding the waves of life. Another breath. And release. And let's switch sides. So the left arm reaches up, comes back, right arm can catch so that you're either taking a grip, keep gliding that left elbow back, or you can use a strap. Nice big inhale. And let's come into a wide-legged. Christine says, I'm omen with the chainsaw, right? Isn't that the beauty? If we can own with the chainsaw, I mean, think about what that means for us in life, right? Yes, we can own with the chainsaw. We can hum with the wood chipper. Oh, I love it. So nice wide legs. Whenever I go into a wide-legged forward fold, I always have to bring my hands behind me and lift up, and I roll my pelvis forward. You can also reach back and lovingly grab your chunky bits and get them out of the way. Because what we want to do is we want to have the spine nice and long. There's a tendency to get really crunchy here, like kind of like roll down, right? Where you get this, this compression in the lumbar spine, and we don't want that. We want to be nice and tall, okay? Knees are straight up, toes are straight up. And we're going to walk the hands forward. And yes, how in your life can you ohm or hum with your own chainsaws, your own wood chippers? You know, where in life are there those moments of irritation? And it might be noise pollution. It might be something else. You know, how can you, like, first notice, oh, I feel it in my throat, my shoulders are getting tight, my skin. For me, it almost feels like my skin gets too tight. Like everything tenses, right? So we're walking our hands forward, nice and slow. I wish I had my block. I wish I had I wish I was Luke Skywalker and I could just pull that block to my hand. So if you have a block, putting the block right here underneath your forehead and just coming down. Remembering to keep those knees straight up, the toes straight up. So inhaling. And every time you hum, I invite you to think about the throat chakra brightening with this beautiful turquoise light. Brightening. Remembering the throat is your seat of wisdom. Breathing here. Another breath. And walk those hands up. And then the right hand comes onto the shin and turning the shoulder back, bringing that shoulder back. And then the arm reaches up. And for you, you know, you might be sitting up here, the arm might be here, and that's beautiful, okay? We really want to keep the shoulder back so that the heart is open. And then we just gently melt into the pose, okay? And as long as you can keep that shoulder back so you can look at the ceiling right above you, then you can bring the arm over. The ultimate aim is to go for the toe with the top hand. Breathing here. Side bending. The right elbow gently pressing into the leg, opening yourself up into the twist. Another breath. And inhale, lift. And let's go in the opposite direction. So again, the elbow on the inside of the knee, gently twisting your heart open. Shoulder is back. Arm reaches over. Inhaling. And noticing, you know, that one side might be tighter than the other. That's so normal. Another breath. And inhale it up. Soles of the feet come together in your Baddha Konasana. Heels up close to the groin. Knees fall open. You can bring the thumbs to the inside of the soles of the feet and just pull the feet open as if you're opening up a book. Elbows go down onto the thighs. And just gently fold forward. Inhaling. And come on to the back. And let's rock and roll. If this feels good on the muscles that run alongside the spine, the erector spinae, brilliant. Just massaging the back. This is supposed to be very healing to our neurological systems. And I am going to grab one of my block now. I'm going to grab both of them actually. So we're going to do some bridge. Okay, so if you have a block, we're going to go into supported bridge. And then we'll do that legs up the wall variation again. So grab your blocks if you have one. Hopefully the answer is yes. So arms are alongside the body, heels are up close towards the hips, thigh bones are parallel, okay? Roll the shoulders down so the back part is nice and flat. And we're going to start going up and down into half bridge. There's a, we have 3 seals or bandha. Bandha are locks, are seals. Oh my gosh, it's blissful when it's quiet, isn't it? For those who joined late, I'm having a tree taken down in my front yard that came down last night and has totally hemmed us in. Blocked our front door and our garage with our car in it. So we're inhaling and bringing the hips up, and we're exhaling and rolling down. And the irony is throat chakra symbolizes sound. So we've been doing a lot of work with how we deal with noise pollution. So the universe delivered for us. This has been our own clinic, our own experimentation of, how do we handle this? How do we handle this? How do we deal with these irritations in a way that allows us just to continue to ride the waves of life? So we're inhaling the hips up and we're exhaling down. So the seals of the body, we've got the root seal, Mula Bandha. We've got the solar plexus seal, which is Uddiyana Bandha. And then we have the throat seal or lock. That's Jalandhara Bandha. So we're going to work on the throat seal as we lift up into our supported bridge. So right now let's do unsupported, and you roll the shoulders together and you bring the chin in towards the chest. This is very good for the thyroid. It's very stimulating. The knees are naturally going to want to splay open, so do your best to keep the thigh bones parallel. Breathe in here, and let's hum while we're in Jalandhara Bandha, right? Hum. Beautiful turquoise light in the throat space. Another breath. Hum. Lift those hips up. Bring the chin down. And then grab your block or blocks. Now remember what we talk about with taking care of our SI joint. Our block is the lowest level and across the body, okay? So if you only have one, that's brilliant, no worries. I caution you against having the block be like that. That's the way I used to do supported bridge. And it's destabilizing for the sacroiliac joints. We learned that from Jenny Loftus, for those of us who have been around for a while. So if you're tall, like I am, I'm pretty tall, and you have a second block, you can take the second block and again have it be wide, like this, wide, okay? So that we're supporting both the sacrum and the ilium, ilium meaning the hips. And you want to get the blocks between the tailbone and the waist, okay, right on the sacrum. When you get it there, you should be like, oh yeah, that's good, okay? And again, roll the shoulders in. The one thing about having the blocks like this is it's kind of hard to clasp the hands because the blocks are pretty wide. So you can maybe like lightly touch the hands to the feet, the ankles, or you can just have the palms be up and really snuggle that chin down. Breathing here. Oh, the blessed silence. I'm not sure if they're done or not, so we'll see if it remains. So you can keep on inhaling and oming or humming, whichever speaks to you more. Both of them are great for boosting vagal tone. The vagus nerve is the largest cranial nerve we have in our body, and it's the nerve that manages our relaxation response. Now, if you don't have any blocks, you might be like, Laura, what do I do now? What I invite you to do is come to the wall and put your legs up the wall. All right. So if you're on the first, if you're on your cycle, this is not recommended. This is an inversion. If you're not on your cycle, you can bring those knees up so you're balancing the hips on the blocks, and then you can extend those legs up overhead. Okay, so it's kind of like a shoulder stand / legs up the wall variation, and this should feel really comfortable. If there's anything about this that's tweaky, I'd recommend that you come off the blocks and again do legs up the wall pose. Eyes are closed, rolled up and in. Nice big inhale. Breathing here. Breathing right into the throat. The color is turquoise. Maybe spreading the toes, rolling the feet on the ankles. Having this just feel really good. Yay. Continuing to really breathe into your throat lock. This is a tremendously relaxing pose. Viparita Karani. This is great. And I'm not talking about doing it on the blocks but if you wake up in the middle of the night and suffer from secondary insomnia, where you wake up and you have a hard time going to sleep, or if you have a hard time going to sleep, either one, another breath. Viparita Karani is your friend. Is your friend. Coming back down into your bridge. Pour energy into the feet. Lift up off the block or blocks. And roll it down. Right? Yay. So good. Maybe bring your feet together in your Supta Baddha Konasana. Knees fall open. So we're going to go into Shavasana, and there's a certain risk if you leave. Oh, my camera's all fuzzy. Why is that? There's a certain risk if you leave the audio up that my tree guys will start buzzing away again. So you do what you'd like. If you want to turn your audio down, knowing that we'll be in Shavasana for a little while, you can do that. So you know you'll have silence. We've done lots of practicing with noise pollution. We don't need to continue to expose ourselves to potential noise pollution in Shavasana. So it's your choice, but you might want to turn the volume down for the next few minutes. Although that does mean you'll miss the poem. Oh, it's like I'm very foggy. I don't know why. So just allow yourself to melt. Palms are up. Letting go of everything. So Rumi talking about silence. And tomorrow's practice, fingers crossed, tomorrow's practice will be on silence. So Rumi says, this silence, this moment, every moment, if it's genuinely inside you, brings you what you need. Live in silence. This silence, this moment, every moment, if it's genuinely inside you, brings you what you need. Live in silence. And he goes on to say, keep silent, because the world of silence is a vast fullness. And that's what this entire practice has been, that finding silence when there are chainsaws and wood chippers and cell phones and all these other things, competing voices, all of these things, it can be hard to find silence. And that's our practice. How do we find silence? How do we become islands of silence in this very, very, very noisy world? That's our practice. And we had a beautiful opportunity to practice it today, didn't we? So as you're ready, bringing movement back to the body, wiggling fingers and toes, rolling that on the neck, rolling the hands on the wrists, rolling the feet on the ankles, and roll over on to the right side, cradling the heart. Remembering that the heart and the throat are twin chakras. When the heart is open, the throat is open. When the throat is open, the heart is open. When there's wisdom, there is love. And when there is really deep love, true love, and abundance, there is wisdom. So gently pushing yourself up into an easy seat, hands at the heart space. Let's take a nice big inhale.